so much for joining me for this class on building a Young Living business. I'm going to talk about 7 simple things that I've done to grow my Young Living business. It's definitely not the only way to be successful in this company, but I know that this is what's working for me, and it has been so incredibly easy. Well, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself before we get started. My name is Ashley Boyd, and I've been using Young Living essential oils for almost 2 years now. It was concern for the health of my family that really led me to oils, and I never had any intention of running the business side of things. I taught my first oils class in August of 2012 when a friend talked me into it. When I saw the ladies at that class really respond to what I was teaching them, I realized how badly people need this information. Well, that friend signed up, and I taught a few more classes in my home over the next few months, and a few more people signed up. And the word began to spread, and we were having so many people join, and just a lot of great testimonies about people changing their health. And I've been so blessed to be a part of this journey for better health for a lot of people. And it became a ministry for me, and I knew that God was in it because of the way that it was growing. By March of this year, 2013, I had 24 people on my team and a group volume of almost 3,000. And that was without really trying or doing anything on the business side. But that was when I kind of had to admit that I had a business on my hands. So let's start by looking at the growth that my team has had over this past year. This shows my growth since that first oils class in August. The only thing that I can really say is that God has had his hand on this business all the way through. He is truly responsible for growing it. It grew almost completely on accident up until March. And at that point, I decided to be more serious about what I was doing and began training my downline to teach their own classes. We just made executive in June, and we're set to hit silver in 6 months really easy and earn the Aroma Complete kit. So we're really excited about that. In fact, I had one of my own in my downline hit executive this month, so we're encouraging one another to get to that goal. 14,000 in volume seems like a huge number if you look at my August group volume, but if you divide it by 134 team members, you really see that it's not so bad. And this is why network marketing the structure is great. You aren't working alone towards your goals. I also want to add that in July and August, I only personally enrolled about 12 people, but we added 88 new people on our team in those 2 months. So 76 of those people were added by my downline. That's exponential growth. You teach people about oils, and then you teach them to share that information with others. So here are the 7 steps that I've identified that I use to grow my business. I just want to start by saying that our focus is always on educating others, never on selling the products. I have never sold an oil. I simply share educational information about the oils and encourage people to do their own research. This takes all the pressure off of you and on the people you're sharing with, because my only goal is to give them information with no expectations. I believe that what we have to share is so life-changing that people need to hear it. And no matter what their response is to it, I'm going to share it with them all the time. But I believe, and I've seen, the majority of people respond to the oils in a positive way, and they want them to be a part of their life. Step number 1 is to just use the products. I know it seems like a given, but seriously, you can't talk to people about products or teach people about a product that you don't use. So you have to start using them. I love these products so much that I would use them if I never earned another dime from Young Living. And that passion comes across when I share them with other people. You can't love products and be passionate about products that you don't use. So I personally started with the Everyday Oils kit, and I immediately got on the Essential Rewards program and budgeted $50 a month for oils. It was a commitment to my family's health, and I wanted to make it every month. Once I started having people sign up under me, I made sure I had 100 PV in my ER order every month, so I would be eligible for all the commissions and bonuses. So you can check out my Young Living Compensation Plan video for more information on how that works. But the great thing is that by this time, I had commission checks coming in, so it really wasn't hard to increase my monthly Young Living budget to 100. I also try to make sure I try something new every month. This month, it was the deodorant, which I really love, but I couldn't tell people that I loved the deodorant until I tried it. So it's not a product that I could recommend without trying first. If you earn the monthly promotion, which usually starts around 190 personal volume, then you'll get some great new things to try for free. And it might be something you wouldn't have thought to try on your own. So I always encourage people to try to get those promos if they can. Here are some of the basics about the Essential Rewards program. It's an auto ship program where you commit to order at least 50 personal volume a month, and you earn a percentage of that PV back in ER points. I started by sharing my discount with others so that I could have a bigger order and then earn more ER points. You can change what you order each month, so it makes it really easy for others to jump in on your order with you. You can see that you earn 10% of your PV back in ER points for the first 6 months. So if you order 100 PV in an Essential Rewards order, you earn 10 ER points that month. That percentage jumps to 15 for the second 6 months and then 20% after that. And really, once you're earning 20%, you're racking up those points quickly. The best part of this, though, is cashing them in for free product. When doing this, 1 ER point is worth 1 PV. So an item that's worth 24 personal volume will cost you 24 Essential Rewards points. You also get 1 grace month per year. So in case you have something crazy come up in your life and you need to skip a month. There's also flat rate shipping, which makes the whole thing that much less expensive for you. There are also several options for Essential Rewards kits that have special pricing that are only for ER members. So there are several ways for you to save a lot of money with the ER program and get more product into your home. The next thing that is essential to your business is continuing to educate yourself on the products and ways to use them. You need to at least understand the basics of essential oils. The great news here is that you don't have to have all the answers. You just need to know where to find them. Here is a great list of resources for continuing your education on essential oils. I think a good essential oils reference guide is a must. There's the Essential Oils Desk Reference from Life Science Publishers, which contains everything you could ever want to know about the Young Living products, including a lot of chemistry stuff about the oils that I can't even begin to comprehend. The Higley Reference Guide is also really helpful, but it focuses more on the practical uses for the oils. OilTestimonials.com is an incredible website where you can look up testimonies for specific uses. And you can also have this same convenience on your smartphone with the Healthier Times app. It's really nice to have when you're on the go. There's also a ton of great stuff in the virtual office and under distributor resources. If I'm not able to find an answer on my own, I ask live chat and I use our customer service because they're incredible and they always are very eager to help us out. Social media has begun to play a larger part in Young Living and how we educate ourselves and one another. You can find all kinds of educational videos on YouTube. I'm a big fan of Terry Tillart and the information he shares. He's really good at doing little, 2 to 5 minute nuggets of information for us. You can also like Facebook fan pages because there's a ton of educational material shared on those. I have a fan page called Anointed Living that I try to update at least once a day or post things. Sometimes I'll get on a kick and I'll post several things in one day, but I try to make it stuff that's easy for you to turn around and share on your own page. There's also educational groups where you can post questions and learn from others, and that's a really great place to just get advice from other people who have used oils for a long time. All right, so number 3 is sharing the products. This is the most fun part of building the business, sharing the products with others. You love the products for a reason. They've changed your health. I love them because they've changed the health of my family. So I'm excited about them. So how could I not share them with others? I honestly feel like it's kind of selfish to keep my mouth shut about the oils. The new Young Living sample packets make it really easy to do this. There's also little dram bottles that you can buy to give people samples if you have full-size bottles that you already own of a certain oil. I carry a bag of oils with me everywhere I go. I've had several instances where I felt led to give someone an oil. And I recently saw a good friend in the grocery store who's going through a really tough time. She told me she was having trouble sleeping. So through our conversation, I just really felt led to give her my bottles of Release and Lavender. I gave her the full bottles I had because that's what I felt like I was supposed to do. This is my ministry. So I really allow God to guide me on these things. And recently, a group of my oily friends and I got together to bless someone in our church who has an autoimmune disorder. We knew that this family had tried a lot of different things over the years, and we really didn't know how open they'd be to spending a lot of money on products. So we decided to go in together and bless them with kind of a packet a package that we'd put together specifically for their issue. I just personally allow God to lead me in this. There have been times that I felt led to give oils to people and I had no idea how they'd react. I'd never talked to them about oils before. I didn't know if they would ever even use it. But for me, it's an obedience thing, and I just allow God to guide me in that because I believe this is my ministry. On the other hand, you do have to be careful. When people realize you'll offer them a sample when they ask you if you have anything for a cough or whatever ailment they're dealing with, sometimes they'll just use that to get you to give them oils rather than buying them themselves. So be generous, be giving, but of course be discerning and be cautious as well. You don't want to be taken advantage of. Number 4 is tell your stories. I think this step is crucial, and I think it's also where a lot of people tend to fall short. If you're using the products, you have success stories. Why do you love the oils? What great experiences have you had with them? Those are the stories people want to hear. They care more about your success stories than anything else. And it doesn't have to be, oh, I was cured from cancer. Maybe you just have had some great nights of sleep using lavender. That is what people want to hear. We all have friends and family members with health issues. Find testimonies that help them with these issues and pass them on. I've had family members totally resistant to oils, but when I sent them a testimony and a suggested oil that was targeted for something they dealt with, most of the time they were willing to give it a try. Social media is an incredible way to educate others about oils. You never know what people may need or may be going through. Sometimes it's just posting a great testimony like how I get great sleep with lavender, and it may resonate with people. It's not an attempt to sell anything, simply a way to share something that has worked for you. Trust me that even if people don't comment on these posts, they're paying attention. You also might consider creating your own business page that others can like so you aren't blowing up your personal Facebook news feed with it. I've had a lot of success with that myself. So that brings me back to social media, and I just want to sit on this topic for a second. Social media is an asset to growing your business. It's a fast, simple way to educate others about Young Living products. If you keep your posts educational, then it's also not pushy or sales pitchy. It's simply a way to get the information out there, information that people may not come across otherwise. 80% of time spent on the internet today is spent on Facebook. So having a presence there is going to widen your network incredibly. Create your own Facebook fan page. Join Facebook groups to continue educating yourselves. Add other people that you know are interested to Facebook groups. You might even want to start a group of your own for your downline. Some of those groups are really big, but having a smaller, more intimate group may be something beneficial. YouTube is also incredible, and if you're handy with PowerPoint or good on camera, then that may be something easy for you to do, is create your YouTube channel and do little clips or longer classes, kind of like what I do. Pinterest is also really great because it's so easy to go in there and just pin a bunch of stuff to a board. Dolph Chang has some great graphics out there that he creates for Young Living and allows anybody to use as long as they leave his name on there. Most people love seeing their graphics floating around, and if it's your thing, make your own. We live in a very visual society, so a graphic that kind of gets the information out there in a visually appealing way is going to be very helpful. The biggest thing about social media is making sure that all of your pages are integrated. I have my YouTube channel and Pinterest board tabbed on my Facebook fan page, and then my website and fan page linked to my YouTube. And this draws traffic to your website or fan page no matter which thing people are coming across first. If they come across something I've pinned on Pinterest, they're going to be able to find my website and my Facebook page and then get to my YouTube channel and things like that. So having it all integrated makes it all work together so much better. Number 5 is teaching others the basics. It's great to share oils and testimonies with others, but if you really want to change their lives, you have to be willing to educate them on the proper use of oils. There's a ton to learn, and we all know how overwhelming it was when we first started learning because there's so much information out there. So you need to break it down for people and be there for them to answer their questions because they're going to have questions along the way. Whenever someone first approaches me about oils, I share the 110 ways to use the Everyday Oils booklet. You can order these pre-printed, or you can just search and download a PDF file of it. I email the PDF file to anyone who comes to a class, and I pass it on to anyone who contacts me through Facebook or email. I love it because it gives a lot of the basics about oils, and it also gives them a ton of uses for the everyday oil, so they can start to apply that to how they could use them in their life. Like I mentioned before, share your stories. A lot of us have learned through trial and error, so just share what your experience have been. And if you learned, not to put water in your eye when you get an oil in it, but instead to use a carrier oil, share that experience with other people, because your stories are going to stick with them more than you just talking about facts. Teach an intro to oil class. Just do it. Don't be afraid to do it. It's not as scary as it seems like it would be. I taught my first class because a friend asked me to, and I insisted that I didn't know very much about oils. I'd been using them for about a year at the time, and I knew a lot of people that had been using them for years and knew so much more than me. But she said, well, we don't know anything, so just come teach us what you do know. So I did. I simply shared what got me into oils in the first place and my experiences with the everyday oils. And I honestly had forgotten how much I had learned through the process. People need to know just the basics. The 3 methods of use: application, ingestion, inhalation or diffusion, and simple things like what a carrier oil is and when you should use it. I didn't share a ton of chemistry things with them or even much about the history of Young Living. I just shared my experience. And that's what really people want to hear the most. I also passed the oils around so everyone could smell them, because we all love the opportunity to smell and test things out. I had one experience where a friend who had been dealing with a consistent headache for months, she put peppermint on the back of her neck during a class, and within 5 minutes her headache was gone. And she was a believer after that. I guarantee you she ordered peppermint, and now she is working on sharing oils with others and teaching others to do the same. I also want to mention that I've never done more than 3 classes in a month. I often just open up my own home and invite others to come. So it's very different than the traditional network marketing party. It's simply a class to educate others. There are no products for people to buy, only resources that I share, information and things for them to test. I just want to say that this business can be built without filling up every single weeknight with a class or a party. Granted, I'm sure it would grow a lot faster if you did that, but I've had a lot of success just doing 1 to 3 classes a month. The next step is sharing the benefits. This is one where I think a lot of people get hung up because they feel like they're being a salesman if they tell someone about the membership opportunity or essential rewards. But I just want you to think back to why you decided to go with a wholesale membership and an ER membership. That is what you want to tell others, your experiences, and why you made those choices. Even though the wholesale membership is technically the same thing as a distributor, I don't use the term distributor. I use the term member because that's all that is expected of them. I never want people to feel pressured to do this as a business, and I never discuss the business side of Young Living in a basic oils class. I want people to see the benefits of the membership and how easy it is to maintain now. So at $40 a month, no yearly fee, a simple 50 personal volume minimum per year to maintain the discount, the membership is a steal, and it's something beneficial for anyone who uses the oils, not just for people that want to build a business. So my goal is to always make people independent. I want them to have the information they need to make their own decisions about their health, and then I want them to be able to go and order what they want without having to go through me. I also share the greatness of essential rewards with everyone. I personally have gotten well over $600 in free products over the past 2 years with my ER points. You don't have to pressure people into doing this, but just share the information with them so that they can know the benefits when they're ready. I also encourage people to share their discount with friends and family. That way, they don't feel pressured to keep that $50 PV every month on their own. They have other people that are ordering with them, and then a lot of times people feel a lot more comfortable to do that. The last step of this process is to duplicate yourself. This is where I am, and that's why I'm creating this PowerPoint. If you reach out to people and you tell them about the oils and you want to share with others, that's incredible. But if you train others to do the same thing, then you're able to reach more people than you could ever even dream of reaching on your own. Do you remember my growth in July and August? You remember how I had only personally enrolled 12 people, but my team overall had 88 people added to our team. 76 of those came from my team, not from me. That is how this business works. So if you plan to make this a business and not just a hobby, then this is a really crucial step. You have to invest in your team, stay connected with them, and be there for them. I know my team. I know their strengths and their weaknesses. I pray for them by name. I know what their goals are, and I know what they want out of this business, and I know when they're struggling. So teaching others about the business is a lot like teaching them about the oils. You have to provide them with the resources that they need. You may not know all of the answers, but you just need to know where to find them. A lot of times that information comes from customer service or distributor resources or even other distributors that you know or your upline. If you have resources that you create or you find for classes or for educating others, share them with your downline. We're all working together as a team, and it makes it so much more fun. Some of the most exciting things that I've come across have been from my downline sharing them up with me. I think encouraging your downline is also crucial. It's easy to get discouraged and overwhelmed in this business, so encourage them to share with others. Encourage them to branch out and get out of their comfort zone. Encourage them to teach a class. Train them to do what you have done. I think it's key to also share your successes and your struggles with your team. I want them to know what my goals are, not so that they feel pressured, but so that they can be part of the success. I send out a monthly Facebook message to everyone directly under me, sharing with them how much we have grown that month and how much we surpassed my goals, because we always do surpass my goals. So the idea is to duplicate yourself. You want your team to feel comfortable leading their own teams. So that's going to take support and training from you, but eventually they'll be able to do most of it on their own. I just wanted to share this chart with you as encouragement. I started my Young Living journey simply wanting to better the health of my family. I began sharing oils not for commission checks, but to share something that had been so incredible in our lives. That being said, Young Living has become a huge financial blessing to my family, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have still never sold an oil, but I do make commissions. And in my experience, this chart is extremely conservative. I just made executive in June, with my commission check for that month being over $500. For the month of July, my commission check was just under $1,000. And my commission check for August should be getting close to the average for silver before I even hit silver. Although I might hit silver this month. That would be awesome. But with my business growing at the rate it is, I plan to be a platinum before next June. And I can't even fathom the idea of making $12,000 in a month. But I know I'm headed that direction. So set your goals high and break down what you need to do to reach them. Most importantly, keep your focus on helping others. It's easy to get caught up in dollar signs, but the dollar signs aren't what got most of us into this. Teaching others about natural health is. So your commission check is simply a reflection of the number of people you are reaching. Keep your focus on people, and the rest will come naturally. So in a nutshell, it's all about being passionate about our Young Living products, educating others about them and how to use them, and then teaching other people to do the same thing. I hope that this has been helpful to you, and thanks for listening.